thing was this is obviously. So, remember this guitar? Yeah. Yeah, I know you guys have been asking me to uh, talk about this guitar a little bit, like a kind of modifications and upgrades that went into this guitar. So I guess it's a long overdue video. So yeah, let's talk about it. But before going any further, let's get some backstory about this guitar. So I got this. Well, I made this guitar back in 2018. So back then I was like heavily into modding, and customizing guitars. This was in 2018. So yeah, prior to this guitar, I think I already had like two customized modded guitars. And my intention for this, I mean not intention, but like I wanted this third one because I didn't have any guitars that was flame maple. Can you see this? Yeah, lights. Yes, so this is the only flame maple top guitar. I mean, it's a veneer, but it's still a flame maple. So I wanted that, and so yeah, obviously I went on to I went on a hunt. I went to eBay and looked for a guitar body. Yeah, because I only needed a body because my initial plan was to get the body and the neck separately and like put them together, like building computers. Like you get your motherboard, CPU, RAM, and then put them together. So yeah, that's my approach to building, assembling guitars, not building. So yeah, I went on eBay and checked out some guitars, and they were very expensive, out of my price range. So the next obvious thing was Bajau, and funnily enough, I came across this brand called Volt, and I think at the time, I don't know, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. Volt was starting to become a little big in the beginner guitar budget, budget guitar area. And so I saw this, and actually I didn't buy this new. This was a B stock open box product. So since I only needed the body, so I was like, as long as the body is good, I'm fine with it. And so I got this very cheap. Actually, I think I paid for like 6.5 or like 7K for this, for the entire guitar, neck and everything, right? Electronics. So I was like, yeah. But apart from the body, everything else was like terrible, to say the least. Now, I'm not knocking on Vault products or anything, but uh, this was just my experience, because yeah, then I realized like why this was a B stock product. Whoever bought this didn't like the guitar, and obviously because, like I said, the, I'm not knocking on Vault products. Let me just say this again, but the neck that this originally had was like very bad. I mean, the fret ends were so sharp. If I did any of those stuff, like, rest assured, tetanus for sure. So it was really bad actually. So yeah, the worst thing was the fret. You know, the frets, they were not even seated on the fretboard. So anytime I would do it like a hard strum, the high E string would get under the second or third fret and be stuck, and will literally get stuck under that fret wire. So I would have to pull it out. And so yeah, but again, this was not a big deal for me because I was anyways going to get a new neck for it. And so this was so yeah, I went on eBay again and came across this seller that those guys actually build guitars like build to order. So that was their deal. So yeah, I contacted them and asked them to build me a neck, and they already had quite a few samples though, and they sent me some of their necks, and this one grabbed my attention because look at the inlays. This is like Richie Sambora, right? Bon Jovi. So yeah, I was like, yeah, what the hell? And I wanted a little different neck because look at the guitar. It's obviously an Ibanez RG ripoff, right? So I thought, why not put a Fender neck on an Ibanez body? What could go wrong, right? And boy, was I wrong. So the neck was fine. When it came, it was originally glossy, and yeah, it was fine. I liked it. It wasn't that sticky. You get used to it. But the thing was, I think that stickiness, I mean, the glossiness made it sound a little plasticky. Yeah, that's a word. I just made it up, or may not. Maybe not. So I thought it lacked a little bit of sustain. So what I did was I took a very fine grit sandpaper and literally sanded it down and made it satin basically. And yeah, and that made it very lively. And but then again, there was one big problem, and I didn't realize this, I didn't know that this was going to happen. Anyways, so the problem with this neck was when I got it, I didn't realize that Fender necks are actually, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe a little wider than your Ibanez necks. So this neck actually didn't fit in the neck pocket. So I ended up sanding the sides of the neck a little bit. First, I thought maybe I should sand the neck pocket, but then I realized, what if I screw up the neck pocket? So I thought I'll screw up the neck instead. Yeah. So yeah, I sanded it down, and it was a really tight fit. But yeah, it worked. And so yeah, I love the neck. It's a complete opposite of every other necks that I have on my guitars, like my Ibanez and my Jackson. I'm pointing that way because my Ibanez and my Jackson are hanging on the wall there. They are very thin necks. This is a very fat neck, but this is very comfortable. And whoever plays this guitar, they always say that this is such a comfortable neck. So I guess it's not just me. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing, the pickups. Okay, this is a very funny story. The stock pickups that this guitar came with, they were fine. They sounded pretty good actually, to be honest. But there was one big problem with it, and I didn't realize this until I took this guitar for my Mother Jane auditions. And that's when I realized those pickups were very noisy. I mean, the moment you turn your distortion on, there's always this high-pitched whining. That noise was always there. It doesn't matter if you have your noise gate engaged or not, because those pickups were not wax potted. If you don't know what wax potting is, look it up. So yeah, can you believe that this was the guitar that got me the Mother Jane gig? Anyways, so yeah, when I got back home, the first thing that I did was I took those stock pickups out and dipped it into paraffin wax, and yeah, that fixed that noise issue. And eventually I swapped out the pickups for better ones, and it went through quite a few pickups, and right now it has a set of Mighty Might Mother Bucker humbuckers, and these are very high output pickups. They're almost like what do you call active pickups? Yeah, but then again, they are very dynamic and they clean up really well, as you might have heard it in the beginning of the video. So yeah, and I love it. So what can we say next? Oh yeah, the bridge. Obviously, how can I forget the bridge, right? The bridge was a big deal because this originally came with what do you call it? The 6-point Fender style, that vintage tremolo system, right? And since I was like heavily into Steve Vai and guys, Etrani and guys like that, I needed something that could hold tune while going nuts on the whammy bar. So yeah, Floyd Rose was a no-brainer. But here's the thing with this Floyd Rose. As you can see, I don't know if you can see. Can you see this? This is not your regular Floyd Rose. I mean, the modern Floyd Rose, where you have the cutaway cavity and you can pull up on this. This is a very old school, like Van Halen style of Floyd Rose, where there is no cutaway, and I like it because it makes string changing very easy. This is the extent of pull up that you can get on this guitar. So what else can we talk? I think the only thing remaining from this original guitar is obviously the body and the strap buttons and the jack. And I think the switch is also original. Is it? No, it's not an original. Yeah. So the body, strap buttons, and the jack. That's it. Everything else has been swapped out. So yeah. And by the way, this tone knob, it's just there for show. I never use tone knob, so I just cut those I just cut the wires off the tone knobs. I think it sucks your tone a little bit when it's in line. So yeah, that's all about the guitar. If you have any other questions, leave a comment down below, and I shall see you next time. See ya. The thing was, this is obviously. So what happened was, this neck was actually a little. I'm out of frame. And if you have any more questions, leave a comment down in the description.